Alright. Hey, this is Nate with Brokey.com. I'm here with Rob McCullough at the Huntington Beach Ultimate Training Center. How's it going, Rob?
So good.
Now, we were just speaking with Sebastian, who's a Muay Thai fighter making their transition to MMA. Now, you're one of the guys who's had the most success transitioning from Muay Thai to MMA. What do you think is the reason you've had so much success?
I think the reason I had so much success doing the whole, switching over sports, because it definitely is two different sports, is getting on the mat, and just putting in my time, just like Seabass is doing. Sebastian, he's in there, he's working with good jiu-jitsu guys, good wrestling guys, just like I did, and you got to get in there, and it's kind of hard to get that mentality. You win a bunch of fights, and people are giving you praise, and you're like, yeah, I'm the man at stand-up. Well, ground's a whole nother world, so you come in there with that mentality, it's a humbling experience. So you start on your back, and you learn from there, and you take some lumps, and then you give some lumps, and hopefully along the way you get some belts and everything else.
Now, what kind of advice do you remember to give guys like Sebastian when they are making that transition, not to get down on themselves if it's kind of difficult at first?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you're going to learn a lot more from a loss than you will from a win. Sometimes you see guys and they walk away and it's, they win and they're like, yeah! Well, they might spend that whole rest of that, celebrating that win and not really focus on the gym, and you start losing, you start getting a couple steps behind. You lose, and if you're a real competitor, you think about it, and you get back in the gym, and it drives you to get better, and that's what I see in Sebastian, and that's what I saw in myself, being a stand-up guy, and everyone just goes, oh, I'm going to take him down. Well, once they start to realize, hey, this guy's learning how to do defense, and this guy's going for submissions, it changes people's heads. They're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Now, Sebastian was telling us how he came in here, and he just first came in here to lose, weight, and he's training here now. He's a professional fighter. I mean, you asked him to help you spar for some of your fights, and you're kind of the main guy here at this gym. What do you think you guys are doing right to help guys advance like that to that level?
I think the fact that Sebastian wanted to get into this, and no one drug him into doing it. A lot of these guys, the sport's gotten so big now, and it's on every channel every night. There's a different fight. People are like, oh, that's what I want to do this week. Well, you have a bad day at cage fighting. You're going to the hospital. So, and Sebastian get in here and doing this all on his own, and learning from his, from his victories and from his losses, and going, wow, okay, and resetting his game, and learning. He's getting better every day, and I think guys like that are gonna go a long way. They're gonna have a lot of, and he's in here. He's doing the work. A lot of people who are getting into this sport aren't really realizing that yet. Now,
when you made that transition, what were the biggest challenges you faced besides the ground game? Was there anything else?
Yeah, I mean, it's the diet, the way you train for a grappling match is way different, an MMA fight than you would for stand-up. I mean, stand-up conditioning is way better, or it's way not better, but you're jumping rope, you're running, and you have that cardio. You can go for days. Grappling is like you're lifting weights, and it's way different. You feel way tired when you're done, like breathless, and like your body's throbbing. You have to be able to work in that zone when you're fighting and train like that way, because whatever happens in a fight, you got to prepare. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. And sometimes guys don't know how that transition. They grab a guy in a choke, or they end up on the ground. They start scrambling and they start flooding their muscles, and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. My hands felt so heavy. You got stuff you figure out along the way, like the training, and that's something I figured out. And I think I'm passing it on to Seabass. He's learning it. So.
Okay. Now, the last time we saw you in action was WEC. You beat Marcus Hicks, and you've had some time off since then to recover from some injuries. How's all that going?
It's going really well. I broke my right hand. I broke it into two pieces. My fourth metacarpal. I went to Cancun the morning after my fight, just drinking beers on the beach. My hand looked like Mickey Mouse hand, and I'm like, I think I should probably get an X-ray. So I waited because I was in Mexico. Got home, I got an X-ray, and they're like, wow, you need pins, you need surgery. Never had surgery before, so I was like, oh man, what am I gonna do? Had the surgery, put pins in. Just recently had the pins taken out. I've been rehabbing it, squeezing stuff, doing all stuff with the rehab, get my body back into shape, doing a lot of conditioning stuff. So I'm hungry now, I'm just ready.
When do you think you're gonna be ready to come back in action?
I'll be ready I know they're having shows August for WC, August, September, November. Probably by November I'll be ready to roll, so.
Anybody in particular you'd like to fight on when you come back?
Varner or Cerrone or one of those guys. At this point, I fought my way back to title contention. I like to get that belt back and start smashing some heads.
Now, when you fought Varner before, you were fighting him and you hit him at one point and knocked the mouthpiece out of his mouth. He kind of looked like he was in trouble. You went into attack and he called a timeout. What are your thoughts on that?
My initial reaction was like, I took a step and I was like, I should just destroy this dude. And I looked and the ref put his arm out. So I'm like, what? At that point, I had broken my eardrum too. He had hit me with something and it broke my eardrum. So I was already a little like, whoa. I could hear myself breathing. It sounded like Darth Vader in my head, like, shh, shh. So I was like, oh man. And then he regained the mouthpiece. He took his little timeout. And I was just like, oh, whatever. He ran across. We got into exchange. He dropped me. I grabbed a single, and the ref's like, you're done, dude. You're done.
Yeah.
You know, I needed time to heal back up from that one, but I watched the fight, and it still makes me mad. I'm like, oh, man.
So you definitely feel like you got the shaft on that one? Then?
Yeah, I got the shaft, but hey, let's do it again if we
Yeah.
see. You know what I mean? Everyone else is like, oh, yeah. You know, everyone was like, oh, okay, guy. And you saw the Varner's next fight. He's like, oh, my eye. Like, come on, dude. What's he going to say next? Oh, my back. I broke my back.
Apparently he is going to come back because he said he was. My career might be over, so we're definitely looking forward to seeing you fight Varner again. Even a battle with Cerrone, you know, you both bring it.
Yeah, I'm down to the scrap. You know what I mean? I don't care who it is. It'll be fun as long as we're not going to jail at the end of it and we're getting paid. Just bring it.
Now, a question we like to ask all the fighters we interview is: if you weren't a professional fighter, what would you be doing as a career?
You know what's funny is I saw a yearbook when I was like in, I don't know, like 4th or 5th grade, and there was like a picture and it said what I want to do when I get older, and I wanted to be a garbage man. So I don't know, you know what I mean? I think I had a lot of I always thought I'll be in the military or something, but never graduated high school, so the military was like, you need to have a diploma. So I was like, went to the gym, and that's how I got into this.
Okay.
So I don't know, I'd probably be a porn star or something.
It's actually the second time we've gotten that answer.
Oh man!
Yeah, Jorge Masvidal gave us the same question, the same answer, man. Maybe you guys could do something together if you guys retire. I mean, I don't know.
I hope this is a girl, not a guy.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of stuff for 2 guys and a girl going out there. But
is that 2 girls in 1 cup, 2 guys in 1? What the?
Yeah, you know,
man.
there's a lot of stuff out there,
This
man.
got weird. What the?
All right, well, we want to thank you for your time for the interview,
sure.
man.
Thanks.
And then everyone, I didn't blow it up. Rob did. I'm sorry.
Oh man, come on.
I just
Jeez.
ruined the whole interview right there.
Jeez, you killed me. Chat. Start over.
But yeah, we want to thank you for your time. You know, thanks Sebastian for his time, and then everybody you want to train some MMA, Muay Thai, Jiu Jitsu, come and check out the Huntington Beach Ultimate Training Center here in Huntington Beach.